Hey there, back with another reading today. Um, Earlier today, I kind of went down a rabbit hole about the whole Jesus or God Lucifer relationship, and um, got a download that basically Lucifer was and probably still is God's cleanup person, like his janitor, like to come clean up the souls that have gone astray. His job was basically to remove people who are on the wrong path, who are doing the wrong thing via different methods, like to remove them permanently from society so that they don't have the opportunity to hurt any more people than what they already have, because the spirit world knows what these people have done. Maybe law enforcement and people like that don't really always know or understand what's going on, but the spirit realm always sees. They see all, they know what's going on. So a fail-safe that God put into place was Lucifer. Lucifer's job, as I stated previously, is to be the cleanup crew for God. He knows who's doing bad stuff, and so he's gonna get you. He's gonna catch you up somehow. You're gonna get caught up. You can't go around doing bad things to people and not have some price to pay. And so it is Lucifer's job to see to it that you pay a price. Now, Lucifer has gone through a little bit of process improvement over the years, and now he will offer you a task or a job or he'll put you in a situation, and he's going to force you to say yes or no. He needs something done, but at the same time, he wants you to self-identify, because he also owes God. He owes God, to clean up, to get rid of the bad seeds. So in order to make his job easier, instead of waiting for you to do something to slip up, because he knows that you're going to, you've already been marked. For him to come and make this offer to you, you've already been marked. He's already been like, okay, this person more than likely is going to take my offer. So let me just, instead of me waiting, I split the deck on the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Instead of him waiting for you to do what ultimately he knows you're going to do, he sends somebody to come make an offer to you. When you take said offer, you are now one of his, I'm going to go ahead and say disciples. Even though you don't know it, even though no one's come up to you and, crowned you and said, hey, here's your black smock and your hood, you're now one of our children. This, in fact, is what has happened by you agreeing, by you signing on to do the devil's bidding. Now, we got that established. That's Satan's job, or Lucifer's job. I've been told they're not the same entity, but I believe they are. I want to know what happened, since we know from the Bible and other historical texts that Lucifer was kicked out of heaven. And I want to know why. If him and God had an agreement and an understanding that Archangel Michael's in the building with the sirens, they had an understanding that Lucifer's job was to clean up and move basically the people who were, I don't want to say no good or trash, because everybody has some redeeming qualities, but like the people who were going to sin unapologetically, like the people that have no conscience, who are willing to do things to others and not think twice about it. There's a difference between people who will do something that they know is wrong, or even that they don't know is wrong, to another person, and then their conscience kicks in. That's one type of person. But there is another type of person, and this is the person I believe genuinely sells their soul to the devil. This is a person that does awful things to another or others, plural, and has no remorse and doesn't think that anything is wrong with doing this stuff. Those are the true targets of Lucifer. Those are the ones where the devil takes your soul. Okay, so right away, the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles came out. The Nine of Pentacles can be a state of mind. I'm going to take it to mean that Lucifer's state of mind was about achieving abundance and success in the job that he was asked to do with the Seven of Pentacles. He wanted to be the best at what he did because he's Lucifer. I mean, he's God's favorite angel, right? So he wants to make God proud. And that's why in my mind, I'm like, okay, he was God's favorite angel. But for some reason, he gets booted out of heaven. Like, what did he do? He had to do something really bad to get kicked out of heaven. What did he do? Or can you shed some insight? Maybe we can put the pieces together. He wanted to be God. Oh, shit. He wanted to be God. Ace of Swords. He wanted to be at the top of the tree of life. The Ace of Swords is also Capricorn energy, which goes back to the Devil card. Well, that's a real easy reading. I mean, that's why. I was like, okay, so what started the tiff? Lucifer wanted to be God. What else? He wanted a legacy. He wanted the Ten of Pentacles. He wanted what God has. He wanted God's generational wealth. He wanted, oh my. He wanted everything that God has. He wanted to be God. Well, shit, I'd throw him out too. I would throw somebody's ass out too on their ear if I gave them everything and gave them a position and a job and, you know, you're my favorite and I love you, and then you try to backstab me. You want to be me and take what I have? Hell yeah, you're getting demoted, fired, whatever. I think it was fired. It certainly wasn't demoted. It was fired. He got sent to the underworld. What else? This shouldn't be too many cards. It's pretty cut and dry. That's what happened. Oh my gosh. He wanted God to die. Like, he literally wanted God to die. The Ace of Cups in reverse and the Death card in reverse. That's what he wanted. He wanted God to die. He didn't just want his spot. He wanted him to die. He wanted God to be no more. He wasn't like, I can share this stage with you. I can, go over here quietly and set up my own little monarchy. He wanted to be God, but not only did he want to be God, he wanted God to die. He wanted God to be gone. He wanted God to be no more. Wow. What else can you tell us? What else do we need to know about this? Holy. And I wonder, do they talk about this in the Bible? Because all you hear is, well, I guess they do in Revelations, because it's like the dark wanted to snuff out the light. Like, that's the whole reason behind Revelations. The two, if you read Revelations, the two serpents who went around lying about the light and saying that the light was actually the dark, they were trying to convince everybody that they were the light. and to get so that God could be moved out of the picture, so that God could be completely removed from the picture. That's what they wanted. And so what's happening now, if you look at the book of Revelations, it's coming time for the devil to be quiet for 1,000 years. In the Bible, God wins, the light wins, and the devil has to go away and be quiet for 1,000 years. And that's what the devil doesn't want. Am I right? Yeah. The devil doesn't want to be done for. The devil doesn't want to take the 10 of swords. The devil doesn't want to be stopped by the truth. But the 10 of swords indicates that something is at the end. It's deader than dead. It's over. What else? Let's use a different deck. What else do we need to know about this relationship between light and dark? How God cherished his relationship with Lucifer, and Lucifer pretty much just turned around and bit him in the hand. Wanted him gone, wanted to take his place. Doesn't want to be stopped by the truth. What else? I got the 3 of Pentacles. What else? What else, Spirit? Three of Pentacles to the Chariot. So it looks like the dark side wanted cooperation and collaboration from the light, but they wanted to be in full control of it. They wanted to direct it. They wanted to determine which way it goes. I'm guessing because the devil felt like his numbers, this is just my theory, Lucifer felt like his numbers were higher than God's. So why do you get to be in charge when my numbers are higher? But your numbers aren't higher, sir. What you're doing is you're going around and you're asking people, hey, do you want to do this awful thing? It's entrapment. So God had to make a decision. He had to make a decision, because this guy was going around saying anything to get people to do what he wanted them to do, so that he could increase his numbers, so that he could come back and say, I've got more people on my side than you have. I want you gone, and I want your 10 of Pentacles. Wow. So how does it end? Because, I mean, basically it's like a hostile takeover. Or that's what Lucifer wanted to do. Lucifer wanted to do a hostile takeover. There's no, the wind's blowing, I'm going to cover my cards. There's no if, and, or but about what was the goal that the devil wanted to accomplish, what Lucifer wanted to accomplish. And what he was saying when he process improved, he was process improving his marketing strategy. And when he improved his marketing strategy, what he did was he said, no longer am I going to wait for somebody to go do something bad. I'm going to present something. I'm going to present a situation, and if they fall for it, they're mine. That's how I'm going to increase my numbers. But I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm doing this, and I'm not going to explain the rules to anybody. I'm just going to do it. And then I'm going to go to God with my success story, and I'm going to say, there's no more juggling because my numbers are higher. It's time for you to rest. so that I can take over. My numbers are higher, okay? I'm Lucifer, and my numbers are better than yours. You don't have as many followers as I've got. He's doing this through relationships. Lucifer is developing relationships, making promises, of a partnership. But really, his followers are like this. They're pages of wands in the reverse. They're discouraged, distracted. They're procrastinators. They create conflict. They're depressed and immature. And this is the way it all ends. It's all here. It's all in the cards. I've shuffled these cards 100 times. This goes along with what the Bible says. The ending has already been written. It's already been decided. God wins in the end. And my cards confirm the same. Just because you want what someone else has, just because you want someone else to go away, because you say you have more people in your corner, you have more followers. Just because you have more people in your corner and you have more followers doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean that what you're doing is right or acceptable to the universe. So anyway, let's see what's the vibe, and what came out on the bottom of the deck was narcissist. Narcissist, egotistical, opportunist, fragile ego. Keep your boundaries up with these kind of people. Disrespectful. Enough is enough. Defend yourself against those energies. Narcissistic, egotistical people with fragile egos that work for the devil. What else, Spirit? Stagnant. Somebody might feel stuck at a dead end or frozen. That's the promise of Lucifer. That's what you get for buying into the promise. He doesn't really deliver. Lucifer doesn't deliver on his promises. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your family. He doesn't care about your happiness. He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is numbers. Because he thinks that at the end of the day, when his numbers are higher than God's numbers of followers, that he can report back to the universe and say, look at his numbers. Then look at my numbers. My numbers are better. I deserve first place. Because he's toxic. He's toxic, and he's full of drama, arguments, and he's incompatible with your happiness. I'm going to leave that right here. Thanks for watching.